This is Leah with Backyard Homestead in Starkville, Mississippi, and I'm out in the garden this morning and thought I would jump on and give you guys a garden update this morning. And I'm sorry I haven't been on in forever, but it's been the end of the school year and been wrapping everything up, and I've been taking a graduate level course that's been very time consuming, so haven't had much time. And we've been out gardening, I just haven't been recording any of it. And Alan's been doing a lot of it, and he doesn't do videos, so I wanted to try to kind of give an update and catch everybody up on where we are. So I guess I'll start with the patio. We have a lot of tomatoes growing. These are the Roma tomatoes in these red solo cups here. These are Roma tomatoes that we started from seed, and we've started them in flats, and we've already transferred them to the red solo cups we use every year. And these are ones we started from seed, and we're about to transplant a row of these out in the garden today. And over here we have a variety of peppers that we started from seed, and we've got them in cups, and we'll get them out soon. And in these solo cups, these are Amish paste tomatoes, and we bought seed for these. We've never grown these before, and we started them in flats, and we've already transferred them to the solo cups, and we're going to plant them soon. And see what else we have planted. We have some cucumbers in solo cups that we started from seed. We have over here some watermelons we've got started, ready to set out. We've got some more, let's see, got some okra started in this flat ready. We have some lettuce in this flat started. These 4 cups are some suckers that we've pulled off of some of the tomato plants. We've got those, trying to root those. And back here, these are some more suckers that we've pulled off of tomatoes growing in the garden. We're trying to root those and have some more tomato plants. Alright, let me see. We'll start over on this side. I want to update you on our onions. And in these boxes, these are the onions that we started from seed, that we collected our own seed from our candy onions last year, and they are doing well, and some of them are starting to swell. So I think this is an experiment that's going really great. Didn't know if we could start them from seed or not, but they seem to be swelling. It seemed to be doing right. So looking good. Let's see, in these 2 raised beds over here, these are the candy onions that we started, that we bought the sets, the onion sets from Dixondale Farms, and they're doing well. Let's see, over here in these rows, this is kind of a mixture. We had the red onions that we saved from last year that had sprouted and divided, and so we divided those and planted them, and some of those are doing really well. This red one's starting to swell, so it's looking good. So consider that a pretty decent experiment. They're a lot of the ones that we planted from those. I'm trying to find another example, sorry. They're actually swelling up and looking good. We divided them, but apparently we didn't divide them well enough, because in some places we're getting 2 onions where we just planted the one divided one. But those are doing well, so we know that's another way that we can plant onions next year. Some of them did die, and where they died we just stuck a white onion in its place. Here's a section where we planted from the divided onions, and 3 came up, so where we thought we were dividing them into just 1, apparently more were in there. But they seem to, they're swelling up, so we'll definitely be able to eat them, so pretty fun. But this is our onion area back here. So I wanted to show you, back in this corner, we have our peach tree, and it is doing great. It's covered with peaches. Beautiful peaches that are turning. Let's find, here's one. Beautiful peach. Let me see if it's, I think they're still really firm. Yeah, that's really firm. It's got a little ways to go, but I think the most we've gotten is just like maybe 5 or 6 peaches in 1 year, and this is covered with them. So I'm really excited about that, ready to eat a peach off this tree. Over here beside that, we have our fig tree, and it is just now starting to get some little baby figs. So maybe we'll get a harvest of figs. I think the most we've harvested off of this fig plant is like 2 or 3 in 1 year, but it's looking really nice, really healthy, and it's covered with figs. So maybe we'll get some this year. Let's see, coming around this way, we have buckets of lettuce over here. And this is Little Jim lettuce in these pots. We have Lola Rosa in these pots, but the squirrels have been having a party with this. They've been eating it down to nothing. So apparently the squirrels have a preferred lettuce. They haven't touched the Little Jim. Oh, I'm a liar. They're getting it right here too. So they're moving on to this pot. These are some blackberries we're trying to start from cuttings off our blackberry plant. And here we have Hilton Cabbage and black-seeded Simpson lettuce. Let me come around and show you our strawberry bed. And I missed video opportunities. We had a really good strawberry harvest this year. These strawberry plants are lush and thick, and this is the year after a mulch. We deep mulched last year, or we deep mulched before last season. So last year we didn't have a lot of strawberries, but it was kind of like a regrowing year for the strawberry plants. And this year was a good harvest year for these. Harvested several pounds of strawberries. So they've done well, but now they're tapering off and they're just starting to send out runners, make their baby plants. But had a good strawberry year. See, I'm gonna come around this way. We've started another blackberry plant against the shed over here. This is the plant that did so well last year, and it's covered with blackberries. And they're just starting to turn, so we should start harvesting some blackberries pretty soon. And we did a cutting from it, and we have another plant planted over here. And it has a lot of blackberries. It's not near the size of the other one, but they're starting to come on. And come around this way, and we have squash planted over here. And this is yellow straight neck squash. We've got a full row. We didn't plant them in hills. We just planted a row, and so far it's done. It looks healthy. We haven't harvested any squash yet, but we have lots of blooms and starting to get some little squash put on. But the plants look healthy and nice. Here's another squash over here. So just starting to come on and look pretty. Hopefully we'll be harvesting some squash soon, but have a nice healthy row of squash. And then back behind the squash, we have 3 rows of Provider bush green beans. And they are just starting to bloom heavy. And we haven't harvested anything off of these yet. They're just starting to bloom. And I don't see any baby beans yet. But the plants are gorgeous and healthy and starting to bloom, so we should have beans soon. But 3 nice rows of Provider bush green beans. And behind that, we have a row of the Oregon sugar pod peas. And we've been harvesting a lot of these, and these are sweet and yummy and delicious. These are the kind you don't shell. They're just the sugar pods, and you eat the whole pod and all. We do stir fries with those and our asparagus, and been enjoying that. Behind here, we have our pear tree, and it's covered up with pears. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's got a lot of pears hanging on it. So should have a good pear harvest year. Around behind that, we have our plum tree. And it did nothing this year. I don't even remember seeing it bloom. I guess it must have, but there are no plums on it. But it's a pretty tree, but it's not fruiting at all. And over here we have an apple tree. And I think I found 1 apple on it the other day. But not doing a lot. Let's see. And over here on this apple tree, though, we found several apples the other day. Let's see. Oh. There's an apple. Let's see. Oh gosh, we counted about 10. Yeah, there's 2 hanging up at the top of it. And there's 1 down low. So apple trees are starting to fruit now. We counted about 7 in all on this one the other day. So hopefully get some apples this year. That'll be fun. That'll be our first apples. There's a pretty one. right there. Alright, so back here in our cherry tree, didn't do anything this year. The other cherry tree we had back here died, so I don't know if we need 2 to make cherries. That was interesting. The peach tree on the tag, it said that you needed 2 peach trees to get peaches, but we only had 1, so then maybe there's another peach tree somewhere in the neighborhood. I don't know, or maybe the tag was wrong, but we've got peaches all over this guy, and he's the only peach tree we have left. So, don't know about that. Alright, more onions over here that we started from seed in this box. And let's see, over here we have peppermint growing right here, all in this area. And we had peppermint and spearmint, but I thought the spearmint had died, but there's a tiny, I noticed this morning, here's 1 spearmint coming up over here. And the plant definitely looks different than the peppermint. I didn't realize they looked that much different, but you can tell it. And then I pinched it, and it definitely smells. You can smell the difference. Alright, so squash, green beans, sugar snap, Oregon sugar pod peas, lettuce, and all that over here. And then on this side of the garden, we have, let me get out of the shade, these 2 rows. These are soybeans, or edamame, and they're not doing, the plants are pretty. Some of them, we had a cold snap a while back, and a bunch of these died, so we've replanted, and they're just now starting to come back out, or starting to come up. So hopefully we'll get a good stand of these. And here is another row of Provider bush green beans. This is the row that we've got. We took the digging tool and forked this up just to aerate it, and we're going to plant some of those tomatoes in this row on the back side of the soybean row. I mean, on the back side of the green bean row. And here we have 2 rows of Silver Queen corn, and it's up and looking nice. Here is another row of the Provider bush green beans. On this side we have cucumbers. One side we have regular cucumbers, and another side we have pickling cucumbers. I believe this side is the pickling cucumbers, and I saw some that are just about ready to pick. Yeah, there's one. Let me find it. Get over here to him. Nice cucumber right there. I'm looking forward to the first cucumber of the season. Yeah, here's another one. Yeah, we're gonna have to pick these probably today or tomorrow. It's about the right size. So I've got cucumbers in this row, and then another row of Provider bush green beans. You can tell we really enjoy green beans. And have tomatoes over here. I believe these are early girls. And have my girls over here wanting to say hi. Don't pick the camera. That's our chicken area. And back there we have quail. And then we've got the fish pond, catfish, and we'll be doing some catfish harvesting this year. Oh, there's a chicken. They're so funny. They get on the roof of the shed and take a little sun bath. Pretty fun to watch. And she'll flip over and do the other side in a minute. Oh, she's going to do that side again. It's pretty fun to watch them. Okay, let's see. We'll come back around here. And I showed you the blackberries and the cucumbers and the Silver Queen corn. And over here, this is a row of Bok Choy that never did much. So we're going to dig it up, or chop it off at the base and do something else with it here. I'm not sure what's going to go here. Let's see. This is red romaine lettuce. This is black-seeded Simpson. Here is another tub of black-seeded Simpson. And this whole patch over here is more Silver Queen corn. So, wanting to get a good corn harvest this year. Let's see, over here we've alternated Better Boy and Early Girl tomatoes all the way down the row. The Better Boys are starting to put tomatoes on. And the early girls have some really nice, big, pretty clusters of tomatoes. Gorgeous. But they're not turning at all. We haven't harvested a tomato yet. But this chunk of row in front of the asparagus patch is early girl and better boy tomatoes. And then we have, gosh, I can't remember the name right now. Hilton Cabbage, sorry, here, Hilton Cabbage planted in the blocks in front. And I don't know if it's going to do anything or not. It's getting pretty warm. It may not have time to finish, but we're going to let it go until it looks like it's not going to work. Let's see. And then we have, this is the area where we planted some more of the candy onions. And this is where we let them go to seed. So we're going to save more seed this year and see how that goes. It worked well last year. We may not have to buy candy onions again. And this is our elephant garlic. And we bought cloves to plant last year. And we've read that you can grow more elephant garlic by letting it go to seed. So we're going to let this go to seed. And also by planting it from the cloves. And also that forms some sort of corms off the roots. So we're going to try growing our own elephant garlic from those 3 different ways. The seeds, the bulbs, and the corms. And see how that goes. We're not going to eat any of this. We're just going to use it to plant more. Let's see. And this is our original trellis of blackberries. These are the thornless blackberries. And it is absolutely covered with berries. And this is our, I think, 4th or 5th year to have these here. And they did really well last year. We harvested pounds and pounds of blackberries. And they're delicious. And I think that is it. This is from our yard, walking back toward the garden, walking through the Silver Queen corn, walking through our tomatoes. And that's about it. Not harvesting a whole lot yet, but have a lot in the works. It shouldn't be long. And I will try to get on more regularly. We're about to get out for summer. Of course, I'm going to teach summer school, so I may not have as much time, but I'm going to try to get on and video now that there's actually a good bit out here to show. And that is it for now. Thanks for watching.